Eighth grade. It's Wednesday, May 6th, and if you haven't done your Hello Good Morning survey, you need to pause right now and go back and do that. If not, you can stick around. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to those of you who gave your feedback in our teacher surveys. And I read that feedback and it kind of just asked what you thought I was doing well or what was going well for you in distance learning in my class, and then what ways I could get better. And I loved receiving that feedback, guys. It helps me grow as a teacher. So thanks for participating in that. Also, if I didn't hear from you, that's okay. I'm going to ask you some questions that kind of reflect on how the year went and things I could do better, or things you liked about my class or even about distance learning. I'm basically just going to send you a little survey today as your COVID connection. So I want your feedback. I want to hear what you're thinking, because that helps me. And honestly, I just like to hear y'all's opinions and thoughts. So, COVID connection today is going to be kind of just an evaluation of me, my class, what you thought of it this year, and then distance learning too, and even this project. So please go do that. I'm still giving out the $50 Amazon gift card for those who participate in at least 10 COVID connections. And I think there's only going to be like 12 to 14 total. So if you do most of them, you'll be eligible for that drawing. And then finally, today's topic is going to be a little bit of blueprint talk because I want to clear up some confusion you guys might have. And then I am going to show you a quick demo of how you can create and edit your whole documentary all from your smartphone. So let's get started by really quickly talking about your documentary blueprint. So just to clarify, yeah, I assigned it to you on Monday and Tuesday, but it's not actually due until Monday the 11th, this next Monday. So you have time to fix it. You have time to go back and add to it. You have time to ask me questions. And I want to show you what some relatively strong documentary blueprints look like. So I'm going to show you this first one. His theme or central idea is to never give up and always get back up after anything, no matter how hard it is. And he's trying to convince people to move past traumatic events and use it as inspiration. He kind of wants the mood to be tense and harsh. And then he has some ideas about what he wants to include. Awesome. He had a really strong start there. Now, this part, guys, there was some confusion. For the documentary blueprint, you should have multiple scenes. So he added rows. He's not completely done, I don't think. He might need like a closing, but he's pretty close. So he broke down scene for scene what the audience is going to hear. In other words, who is talking, who is speaking on screen or in a voiceover, who is in that scene and what are they doing, what is the audience going to see in that scene, and then what are they going to hear in terms of music or sound effects in that scene. So guys, when I read your documentary blueprint, I should be able to visualize what this is going to look like for me as a viewer when it's on screen, okay? What it's going to look and sound like. So it should not be just one box where you say no narration or I'm talking, and then that's all you write and there's no other information. Because, yeah, I know you're talking in the video. I want to know what's happening scene for scene. I had a few people turn them in, or I saw them and they just said, like, I will be talking in the video. I will be on camera. There will be sad music playing. This should not be that, guys. There should be a lot of detail, and you need to break down what's happening in each scene. You need to break it into smaller pieces for me. So let's look at this one. He says, and let's see if I can visualize this in my mind. So in his first scene, there's no narration. We don't hear anyone speaking. And on screen, there's going to be a video of him playing an intense piece. And I know this kid, so I know it's on his piano, but without him actually playing. So we're not going to hear like his music that's actually coming from the piano. It's just going to look like he's playing very feverishly, okay? And his title is going to emerge on screen in front of that, and it's going to be called The Music of Life. So I can visualize in my head, no one talking, this kid on screen playing piano really like, with intensity, and then the title comes up, The Music of Life. And what am I hearing while this vision is happening? I'm hearing this piano play with sad parts and happy parts playing constantly through the video. So I already know I'm hearing piano music in the background. But then the next scene, it cuts to him asking a question to his mom. Why did you push me and motivate me to work hard? His mom's going to answer the question. So that's the narration, right? That's who's talking. And it seems like he doesn't want, though, his mom and him to be on camera. So I'm just going to hear them maybe as a voiceover. Because what he really wants to be on screen is pictures of him as he was younger in like a slideshow that explains her thinking. That's awesome. So I'm not going to see his mom on screen. And now I know that. He's explained that in this scene. And then again, he explains how the music is going to change for this scene. Boom! He goes to the next scene. No narration. Videos of me put together in the top 10 or going on field trips. So more video of him will be playing with no narration. And then this will be like a happy part of the piece. You get the point. I can see each scene in my mind, what he's planning to do. It's not a general idea, guys. It's a scene for scene. Now I know that this scholar can go through and he can use this to collect his footage and edit his piece together in just this way. That's the point of your blueprint. This is where you start thinking about the details, right? I want to hear the details. Okay, I have one more quick one. Also really good. He tells me again in his title scene, no narration. He's going to show me a lot of pictures. He even gives me like effects. It's going to fade to black. Chill music's going to be playing. And then boom. He tells me I will interview myself with the first question. And then, oh, what's going to be on screen? He's going to pop up on screen. He told me what his background was going to be like, what his lighting would be like, and explained to me his movements and position in that scene. Beautiful, amazing. Also, once again, tells me about music and changes to his music in that scene. Y'all, I can see scene for scene what this scholar is planning. That's what your documentary blueprint is all about right there, guys. So, wanted to show you some strong, he's still not done planning, he just started, but that's fine. He has until Monday to finish. These are some really strong examples that could help, hopefully help you while you're planning, or help you understand what this should look like a little bit better. If you don't want to just see mine, this is what your actual classmates are doing. Okay, guys, next I'm going to jump to helping you understand how this is going to come together in terms of editing. So let's get started. So today I'm going to show you guys how you can create and especially edit your documentary using just your smartphone. So because I have an iPhone, I am using the app that is free that comes with all iPhones called iMovie. If you've deleted it off your phone because you weren't using it, you can go back. It's either already on your home screen or one of your screens, and it's this purple one with the star. Or you can go into your app store and look up iMovie and re-download it, and it's free. If you have an Android, then you can still do this. You just have to use a different app that might work slightly differently. And I'm going to have some materials connected to today's lesson for you to reference that is going to tell you which free apps you can go to your Google Play Store and download. And then it'll give you a couple video tutorials specific to those apps that you can watch to help you learn how to use that software. So that part is kind of on you, but I can try to help you if you need it. However, for today's purposes, you can still watch this video of me editing and learn a lot from it, because I'm going to give you a few tips about your documentary. And I'm also going to ask at the end of this video that you turn in your own little video today for our assignment that basically shows me that you know how to use the editing skills that I taught you in this video. So pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that the documentary that I'm going to kind of pretend to model for you today was the original that I intended to do, but I got really sad and decided not to make it. It was going to be about my dog Bruno, who you see on the screen here. And what I did was, it was kind of nice because I already collected all my footage, all my photos, and I put them all on one album of my phone. Like, so in your photos and videos, in photos, you can go and create a new album. And so you guys could do that too. Like, you could go into your albums or go into your photos and create one album with all your documentary stuff in it, and it's going to make things a little bit easier for you. So the first thing you got to do before you start editing is have footage to edit, right? So you should be collecting video footage and photos for your film now. And then once you have some, you can start editing. So you'll go to your editing app. You'll press the plus sign. You'll click start a new movie, not trailer, movie. This is the part where it's prompting you to add the footage that you would like to use to your documentary. Now, you can just start with one video or one photo and go from there, and you can add the rest later. So for now, I'm going to go to my album that I told you I made of all of my Bruno footage in one place. And I'm just going to select, there's my husband with him, that's cute, all Bruno all the time. There's some of my students with him. Oh my gosh, so cute. Okay, so I'm going to go through, thinking about though what I had planned for my documentary. I'm going to go through and start selecting footage. So I knew that I wanted a title with some pictures behind it. And a lot of this documentary was about celebrating his birthday. So I thought it'd be cool to have like a couple photos to begin it. Remember, y'all, when people make films or documentaries, they usually don't just launch right into it. They have this kind of beginning, maybe like a title scene. So remember, you guys want to probably put your title at the beginning, and you could have video footage or photos behind it. So for my title, I want the cake as my title scene, and then I know I want this video clip to be next. So knowing that I can always go back, and add more, I'm going to start with these three. Whatever order I selected them in is the order it's going to put them into my video in, which is kind of cool. So I selected the cake first. And so it's probably going to, or it should, put the cake picture first, then the second cake picture, and then the video clip. And sometimes it just takes a second to download the materials. There it is. And it's all in order, just like I said. First the cake, then the second one I selected, then the third. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is in iMovie in particular, you need to select the clip that you want to edit. So the one in yellow is the one that it's editing, and it'll show it up here. So there's this thing called Ken Burns effect where you can tell it how to pan over a shot. So wherever I want the camera to start is where I will put it, and then I can select where I want the camera to end on that shot, and that's what I choose. Cool. So now it knows, and so when I play it back, it's going to start there and end where I told it to end. Awesome. Okay, notice these are called transitions, where it goes from one clip to the next so that it doesn't look choppy. It adds this little nice transition. You can change it by clicking on the transition, but I will tell you that for most purposes and our purposes, dissolve or fade are the best ones. This is what fade looks like. Okay. So that's how you add or change transitions. I like dissolve, so I'm going to keep it dissolve. So now I have this little scene. Here's the opening of my movie. It's going to transition. Okay, now I want the title to appear. So I'm going to select this shot, and I'm going to go select this T. And I'm just going to I'm going to select which of these I want. They all do different things, and it kind of shows you the effect. I'm going to do reveal. I think this one just sort of fades in. I'm going to call it man's best friend. The more woke way to say that would be person's best friend, but it's okay. All right, so now I've got my title. Let's see how that looks. There you go. I like it. Okay, now it's going to transition into some film. Now this film, listen, has sound of me being goofy and like talking in a baby voice to my dog. And you know, y'all just really don't need to hear that. So let's say I want to take all of the talking out, because in this scene, I just want the audience to hear my voiceover or music and just see what's happening. I can hit this little speaker button and turn the volume all the way off by adjusting the sound there, and boom. Now there's no sound. Okay. Now, but that's weird, Miss Lawson. Now there's no sound. Good point. I want to put in some music to really set the mood on this bad boy. So I'm going to click add an audio.
Now, I don't use like Apple Music. I just get everything on Spotify. So I don't have any music like already here. So I'm just going to use the soundtracks that are already provided, which is like a bunch of instrumental music. And I can go through and I can listen to them and sample them. No, that one doesn't fit my vibe. Whatever, right? I can go through, listen to all of them. And when I decide on one I like, which I did, that fits the mood that I want to create, I can click this add and it adds the music. So now you can see that there's a different vibe here. But not only do I want to add music, I want to do some talking, but I don't want to talk during my intro. I want to start talking right about here. So I'm going to select that and I'm going to click that plus button again. And when I click the plus button, it takes me back to audio. And from there, I can select voiceover. Now, when I'm ready to record, I hit record and I just start talking. So I'm going to do that right now. Record. On March 15th, 2020, my dog Bruno turned 15. So, naturally, we threw him a quinceañera. Okay, we totally didn't throw him a quinceañera. There were no dresses or anything, but we threw him a happy 15, right? Okay, so I could retake it if I didn't like it, but I mean, it was obviously amazing. I could review it to just hear what it sounds like back, but don't do that because no one likes the sound of their own voice. And I could also just accept it. Beautiful. So I've accepted it. Now let's hear what it sounds like. You're going to notice that there's still music in the background. On March 15th, 2020, my dog Bruno turned 15. So, naturally, we threw him a quinceañera. Okay. So, you can always adjust the volume by pressing that same speaker on either of these by just selecting the sound you want to adjust using that speaker button. Okay. So, there are some other cool tools here that you can use. I'm going to show you how to do one more thing. I'm going to show you how to cut your video. So let's say I want it to end right here. I want to leave that part, but I want to cut some parts out. I can select, just put my white bar where I want to cut, and I can select scissors, and I can split, or I can like detach these parts. So I'm going to select split. And then now this part I want to keep is here, and I can cut this again and like cut out the part I don't want. So I don't want the part before this. So I'm going to select, split, and I'm going to cut out that part that I didn't like, and boom. Now I'm just left with the two parts that I actually want. I also don't really need the end of this clip, so I can also do this to cut out parts. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. And now let's pretend. Obviously, this video doesn't have everything I would technically want, but let's pretend I'm done. And here we go. On March 15th, 2020, my dog Bruno turned 15. So, naturally, we threw him a quinceañera. Okay, when I feel like I'm done with my movie, I select done. I can rename it here on this screen, Man's Best Friend. Done. I don't want to give my movie a lame title. I want to give it like some kind of, like, I don't want to name it like Dog or Bruno. I want to like give it a jazzy name. So I did. Now, let's say I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm going to export. I'm going to go to Gmail. It's going to export my movie. It's going to take a while, but it's going to then prompt me to email it to someone. Guess who I'm going to email it to? Myself. Guess who you're going to email it to? Me. So once you are done with your movie on May 22nd, you are going to just upload it and email it to me because I found that that's the easiest way. Now, today for your assignment, you're going to do the same thing. You are going to go right now to your Google form, and in the Google form, it's going to explain to you how I want you to do today's assignment, and it's going to tell you exactly what I want you to include. So go ahead, go into Google form and complete that assignment. You will notice that there is a part where I give you the option to tell me if you do not have a phone and ask you a couple questions about that so I can help figure that out for you. But again, I know most of you do have phones. So if those questions don't apply to you, then you don't have to worry about answering them. Okay, guys, I really hope that this was helpful for you guys and you kind of have a better idea of how this is all going to come together now. And don't forget that if you want to participate in the COVID connection video, that you can do that as well today. Bye. Have a happy Wednesday.